Anyway, I want to talk about to some of today's amazing plays that were set up in our room today. Obviously, GameStop was a big winner for everyone in the chat room, and it wasn't just game; it was Tesla with earnings coming up this week, and we played Bed 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 Bath and Beyond. BlackBerry was popping as well. And I really wanted to set these up for everyone in the chat room, and everyone seemed to have done extremely good today. But there are still some people that are still trying to figure out, why did these things run? How come I didn't play them? Why did I miss them? Man, I had an opportunity. I just didn't participate. And it's okay. You're going to have the market creates so much volatility and so much opportunity that if you miss today, it's not the end of the world. You'll have another opportunity tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Stocks are always going to be in play. Volatility, there's always going to be a rhyme and a reason for a stock to move, not move, short, go long, puts, calls, whatever. But for us, when we get in every day, we're always looking for those main, gap ups. And obviously, game closed at 65 and was capping up over $130 this morning in pre-market alone. And by the time I was doing my notes, the stock went already up over 100. And so I wanted to set it up. And I'm going to kind of show you what I was looking at as a day trader and as somebody who's done this for quite a while, what I look for. And let me turn off my phone and the TV so I don't get interrupted. Um, okay, so game this morning was gapping up uh, already 35 points. Now, I have been playing short squeezes for a very long time. Okay, I can't stress enough. I've done this a long time in my life, and I can recognize when a squeeze isn't done with. And GameStop was a perfect example, and I'll show you the last 5 days activity. So hopefully the screen will catch up to my charts here. But okay, game was in play probably you could say last Wednesday here. It started to get the attention Wednesday when we were going from popping from, I think it was 38 all the way up to 42, 45. It was getting some love. And then I think even on Monday of last week or Tuesday, it was 37 and we got it to 45. Well, it really held a nice base. And then on Friday, as you can clearly see, we got that big run. Our long in the room was around $46 a share we were calling. Now, obviously, no one saw this 76 coming, but that certainly told me that this stock is going to be in play. And then I started to see articles and things on Twitter that this stock, there's some either a bogus analyst report saying this could go to 4,000. And when I see things like that, I remember the history of these type of stocks. And whenever there's that kind of attitude and charisma about the stock, um, and allure, it just tells me that there's traders out there that want to see this keep going higher and higher. And it's mostly retail that's going to push this from the Robin Hooders to the TD Ameritrades to everyone across the United States that wants to trade this in the world. I mean, to be honest with you, um, I mean, combine all day traders together, this stock could it could run to Pluto. So I knew that this stock was going to be in play, and I kind of sensed it. And I did make a comment on Twitter on Saturday, and I'll show you my comment here on Saturday uh, to everyone that I felt. I think it was here. I quoted. I'm trying to find it for you. It was Kramer's thing. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I did make a note. And when I saw the tweet, um, yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, Kramer had made a comment, and then I kind of went with the comment, and it was a comment that he said, "There's no way it's going to hit, 4,000 on some article that he saw," and that kind of gave me that sense that wow, this is. I think we got a runner. We're going to get more of a run. I definitely see it on 100 on Monday, and I did write that down. I'm sorry, I don't know where it went. Let me see if I can find it down here on tweets and replies. It was the Kramer one. Let me see. I think it was right. Um, well, no, I guess it's gone. It's gone. Maybe it was Saturday. Oh, it was Saturday. There it is. Yeah. Um, this comment was made by some Kathy Wood on GameStop Proctors of 4,000, and Kramer said not. And then right here, I kind of wrote, well, come Monday, let's see if we can't get this thing to 100 or more. So I kind of sensed after I read this, saw a lot of the vibe and energy on uh, on Twitter that we were going to get a solid run. So today, the way I set it up was I really wanted everyone to participate that really wanted to get a piece. Now, you don't have to play game with size. Obviously, you could just scalp it and get what you can of it. But for me, I enjoyed this trade and the way I set it up for everyone. First of all, I didn't want any newbies, and newbies are traders that are just beginning to start day trading. And I didn't really want, traders that have a small account or that were unsure. I didn't want them to get really involved in this one yet. I just wanted them to observe or paper trade it or get a feel for it, but just not that vibe for them yet. I was on the cautious side. But for us as experienced traders, and the majority of the room, I was looking, hey, let's get through 105. Let's clear all that. And we get that, we're going to get a 10 point or more to the upside. And then we'll see for the topping. Now, one thing about GameStop is when it squeezes, yes, I'm calling for 115, but the stock hit 130 in pre-market. So when I say watch for topping and more upside, I push to the upside. There's a lot more upside coming. But I'm assuring you that once it comes through 105, you're going to get at least 5 to 10 points in your pocket. And that's what I played. I played that instinctively just that way. That if I got through 105, I can get 10, 15 points. And I actually played it all the way to 115, 120, and I think I stopped. I was only hitting it with 100 shares, and I was just banging it out, and I loved it. But that was my, when I got up, this, like, again, I always say these are my thoughts in the morning. When would you play GameStop, AJ? Hey, I would play it at 105, get 5, 10 points, make 500 to $1,000. If I play 200 shares, obviously I make 1,000 to $2,500. I mean, 2,000. But you know what? I'm gonna play it when it hits it, go for it, and let it just rip. And it ripped. And then I felt that if it did snap 90 on the downside, we would see 75 and 80. So my target price was 75 on the downside or under, or 105 to 120, 115 or more to the upside. So for the short sellers, hey, wait for the 90 snap. For the longs, uh, wait for the 105. And that's what we did. And I kind of set it up that way. So here's uh, today's action. I'll show it to you. And again, I don't use a lot of VWAPs and Max and MAs and all the things that you're accustomed to from a technical side. I understand the stock from just a raw side of it, how a stock reacts on a short squeeze, what to look for, where's your entries, where's your exits, why are you looking at. And again, I want you to see pre-market. You see how pre-market it took off from 95 all the way to 138. See, that's a squeeze. That's a massive squeeze in pre-market. And this was done at 1 o'clock in the morning where most of us couldn't trade anyway. So this told me, this was the story. Once I saw this story it being told, being laid out, I knew today was going to be a great day to play it, another day. And I knew we were going to get a rush. And so then, once I knew that, then all I had to do was watch it grind. And this was the grind. Look carefully at the grind between 90 and 100. You see how it just stayed? Now, would I have traded this in the chat room and pre-market? I would have stayed away from it. My more interest is the open. That's when everyone and their brothers and sisters are going to go after the stock. And either the shorts are going to want to squeeze out of it and get out of it, or longs are going to want to play it through retail. And believe me, you have to anticipate there were. Now, look at this 857, 858 that I was just talking about. You see that? So I felt like, now I want you to look at something. When it hit through that 858, look where it went to immediately. 865. You see, that was my initial price target on the stock, right? As you can see, 850, 858, 865. And look what I wrote in my notes. You see them right here? 858 to 865. Now, typically, if we were in a normal market environment, so to speak, that would probably, then it would probably came down, bottom curled and longed. But we weren't. Everything was just going crazy. I thought, well, we were back in 1999. I mean, just things were just going nuts. And there was no stopping Tesla at that moment. Once it curled around, it could not break and went right back through 865. It was on. And it was just a pure long. And guess where it hit? 900. It was a beautiful play. But, again, normally when I take these type of ideas, I look at toppings here across the board. In this instant, I was comfortable with 858 because of my experience. At least it let a trader know, hey, if I hit 858, you can catch 7 points on 200 shares and make 1,400 and you'd be done. And for the most part, I was 100,000% correct. But once it curled around and broke that 865, it was on. There was no stopping it. And I played this originally was down 350 and I got it all back and then I was up 350 and of course I came back in the room. It took $200 from me, so that's the way that worked, but it's okay. If it gets through 880, I'll run it into close. But so that was a good one. And then there was Best Buy. I mean, Bed Bath & Beyond and Best Buy. Now these two were on my list today, and I'll show you each of these. Again, like game, a short squeeze was coming on these. Okay, so I want you to look on a 5-day chart. So here's a 5-day chart, and I want you to look on a 5-day chart. Now, one thing about our chat room is a lot of this was caught a little early on. Adam News, Dark Side, they were starting to see a lot of call volume. They were seeing things that that a lot of simple day traders don't see. So they were calling out, I see a bigger move. I remember Best Buy, Darkside was calling out, actually, I think on Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, he was actually, this is Thursday, on Friday. On Thursday, he was calling out 20 on BlackBerry. On Bed Bath & Beyond, Adam was calling 44 to 45. And they were seeing it when it was at 26 and 28 and 30. And let me tell you something, from a day trader standpoint, that's impressive. That is really great insight what they see. And so as a moderator in here, as I'm seeing it, because they're seeing the flow going through the options, the call buying, they're seeing all that. They're seeing, oh, I just see they'll see 20 calls 2 weeks out, a week out, size. They're calling it out, and I'm like, wow, ooh, that's huge. And I pay attention to that when they say that. And that tells me that these stocks are in play. Now, am I going to long into that? Am I going to play that with them? Not necessarily they're playing it, but am I going to play that just because somebody bought 20 April calls, 50,000 contracts or something, or 10,000 contracts or something? I'm just going to play. I'm a day trader, so I'm going to play the momentum. I like to pop it and fade it because BlackBerry is such a thick stock that if I run 5,000 shares and drop 2, I can make 10 G's on that stock. I mean, I know BlackBerry can't hold. Bed Bath & Beyond, it's a thinner stock, which means I can rip the stock more. It won't have the range BlackBerry because BlackBerry's too thick. The float's too much. With Bed Bath & Beyond, I know there's a ton of shorts in there. Once that starts to rip, man, I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm in it. 1,000 shares, 1,000 shares, 1,000 shares, 1,000 shares. I must have called that out 4 or 5 times, and I missed the initial move. But I could see it. Oh, we're going to run up again. Oh, we're going to run up again. Oh, we're going to run up again. Before I know it, I was up $900. I actually had to stop. I had to stop at 44. I'm like, dude, my belly's full. What do I do? I mean, I could go more, and I could have. But once I hit my goal's 1,000 a day every day. But lately I've been doing, oh my God. So anyway, so I saw this and I really wanted to let it run. So at this point, so now I see a gap up on BlackBerry. You see this gap up? Now typically if you know BlackBerry will sell off. Okay? BlackBerry will sell off. All right, they'll usually would typically gap. All right, they'll gap fill it. And I want you to look carefully how I wrote these notes for everyone in the chat room. So BlackBerry, I said, listen, I know it's gapping up. I wouldn't buy it unless it clears 21. I don't think it'll clear that. And if it does, you're only going to get 1 point. You see how I really narrow that down? I make it very clear to everyone. This isn't going to be a game. This is not going to be anything else. This is just one of those, if it's going to go, it'll just go 1 point. In the end, this is going to sell right back off to 15, 16. So look for the short, all right? And then once we hit that, then you could bottom curl it. And that's the way I went after BlackBerry, all right? Now I want you to see the trade. I want you to see how it was set up for everyone in the room. I didn't want them to think this was going to run 5, 10, 12, 20 points because it's thicker. I understand the stock. I understand why it's up because everything else is popping. But in the end, this is going to come down. So for my short sellers, this was a big win for them. Ding, 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 ding. Here's the opening bell. As you can see, here's the opening. It could not get through 21. Watch the lower low set in. There's a lower low, and bam, here's your short at 20 a share. Stops at 20.50. Your risk is 50 cents. And where did I say the stock would go? $15 to $16 a share, right? And look where it went. Came all the way to 15.75, 16 bucks a share. This is knowledge, studying, chart patterns, understanding flow, understanding the stock, the characteristics. This is what I give every day to the chat room. The insights that you don't see. And you won't see this for years when you're day trading. You won't understand it for 6 months to a year to 2 years, 3 years in. You're just like, wow, how did you know that? But when you start to trade these stocks over and over and over and over and over. I've been trading BlackBerry for 12, 15 years. I know this stock. I know how it plays on upgrades, analysts, earnings. In this case, short squeeze float, how it's going to play out. Okay. Now, with Bed Bath & Beyond, again, squeezing up on Wednesday. Okay. Then here on Tuesday, look at the squeezes up. I want you to look carefully how it went from 25 to 28. All right. So that was on Friday. So you got to know that if today, no, this was Thursday, and then Friday, 27 to 31. Okay. We got another. We're gonna squeeze this again because especially if GameStop and the other ones are pushing Bed Bath & Beyond is going to rip alongside Game. It's in that same category. And with the great Adam News calling out 44, 45, 47 at 38, man, this okay. I want you to see. Okay, so Bed Bath & Beyond now, knowing how it was going to lay out, this one, the way I laid it out for everyone on Bed Bath & Beyond was like, look, we're already up 5. All right, that's pretty good for Game. If we clear 36, let's get 36 first. Once we clear 36, we'll clear 2 more points or more. Push to the upside. If this snaps the downside, I'm going to be watching the 34, and it's going to come down to 30, 30, 31, about 31.50. Okay, so again, where's my high? I'm thinking 38, $39. Where's my low? 31, 31.50. That's the range I'm giving Bed Bath & Beyond. But it's got to continue momentum because it's going alongside Game. And so I have to play it just like that. All right. So now let's do it in the room. So if I'm new to trading, I want to set this up for everyone. And that's like, hey, what do you think Bed Bath & Beyond's going to do? Well, John, once it clears 36. Now, again, I want you to see what I'm looking for. All right. Here's the high. You see that 34.81? That's not good enough for me. All right. Pre-market, it's 35.50. You see that? I want 36. I want you to show me. And this is what I teach traders and teach you. Don't trade a stock unless it shows you it wants to play. Game, Bed Bath & Beyond showed you, I want you to play with me today. How did it? Clear 36, and I'll play you to the long side. And look at that. 1,000 shares at 36. You made 2,500 in less than 2 minutes of work. Now, with TD Ameritrade traders, we unfortunately, TD Ameritrade does not let you trade in the first minute or two. They will blame you, your fills. They won't fill you. The stock will sit, go up and down. They'll give you ghost fill. I mean, they are the worst at the opening bell. They cannot handle the opening bell. So we, as day traders that use TD platform, we have to sit and wait. We can't do nothing. And so hence I had to wait, and then I had to wait 3-4 minutes in, and I started to buy it here. And that's where I started to scalp 1,000 shares. And I was calling out, trader's gonna pop, trader's gonna pop, trader's gonna pop, trader's gonna pop. And all I'm doing at this moment is I'm taking 1,000 shares, making 30-40 cents. That's 300 to 400 per pop. Another 1,000 shares. Boom, I got 300. Another 3,000 shares, up 200. On this one I made just about $900 on 3 trades. I just played this pop, and then I was done with it. But as you can see, as it curled around, it squeezed all the way up here, and I stopped right here in the chat room. I said, this has got more room, traders, here and here. And sure as I called it out, it ripped another 3 points and 3 points here. So yes, could I have stayed with it? Could I have made more money? Absolutely. But again, you got to be a disciplined trader. You can't just go in there and you know, you can and you can't. I mean, today was a wonderful day, but you never want to get caught in a pullback. And let me show you what a bad pullback looks like. Let's just say that you were chasing game and you decided, okay, I'm going to go in there with 1,000 shares at 150, and you went to go sell on this pop and you got caught in that halt. All right, I want you to see how devastating it was. You went from 160 to 132, and they wouldn't let you get out because you couldn't execute fast enough, and they pulled it all the way down to 116. This is devastating. This is the risk of playing these type of trades. So you have to back off. You can't be greedy. You have to save yourself at some point. Enough. It's going to keep you safe. And I'm all about that. I've experienced this before. And when I trade these things, I'm market order in, market order out. I'm in. I take what it gives me, and I don't try to force limit orders. The stock is moving, hundreds of millions of shares. I'm in the momentum. I'm market order in. I'll get my money out, and I did. And I was only playing with 100 shares. The reason is because if I took 1,000, which I could have, the spreads were just wild. They were like jumping all over the place. You know what? I like this game right here. Hold on. I might take a look. Yeah, it's a little bit tighter. I'm kind of watching it. Yeah. No. And so, if you did 1,000 shares, you have to mentally prepare yourself on a market order that the spreads could open it up 1.5 points. And seeing down 1,500 isn't the easiest to swallow. So for me, I understood that. So I said to myself, why don't you just take 100? You can deal with 150 down and deal with 200, 300 in the money. And that's how I played it, just like that. So right now, game is kind of squeezing up a little bit. Let me see if I can pop that fucker. Just a little. Yeah, I'm just watching it now. Oh, come on. Yeah. Okay, I got a little bit. I thought I put 250 in, but it gave me 200. So it gave me a little bit of money on that one. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I made a few bucks. About $41. Um. Anyway, so I just basically wanted to do this recording for you. I know we had some, issues technical wise, but I wanted you to understand the game, the Bed Bath and Beyond, and BlackBerry, and why they were picked, why they were selected, and why they were on the notes. And again, the notes today were just simply on point. We actually got more money than the move that I thought would come. I was very proud of that. A lot of traders did incredible amount of money today. And all this really comes down to is just knowledge. Trading this market, understanding the market conditions, the market itself. Where's the market to go today? How is it going to trade out today, and so forth. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful day. So anyway, if you hopefully you enjoyed this webinar, it's on YouTube, and thank you so much. I do thousands of these on YouTube, and this is the first one for 2021, and I hope you listen to it. Again, I'm going to see what we can do to edit it a little bit because of the gaps between. So I'll talk to our edit guy. Other than that, if you love what we did today and you liked our explanation, feel free to join our room, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay? So thank you. Let me stop the recording. a lot of shorts in there. Okay, sorry about that. I guess there was some issues in there. When Nito's been having problems, but let me continue on. So anyway, Anyway, hey, you can see my webmito just in and out, in and out. It's crazy. But anyway, it's still continuing to record, so I just logged in, logged out.